Okay, so for this warm-up here, question 1 has the cost of granola bars at 2 different stores. So when you're doing this question here, there's a couple different ways of doing it, but we're going to do this with ratios and proportions. So we need to figure out the 2 things that we're talking about. One of the things is the granola bars. So I'm just going to put granola bars maybe on the top. Okay, so granola bars. And I'm going to put this over the other thing that we're talking about. In this case, we're talking about money. So for Foodorama, we know that for 12 granola bars, so I'm going to put 12 at the top because that represents granola bars, and I'm going to cost $7.44. So I'm going to put $7.44 at the bottom. What I want to do is find the cost for one granola bar because it says, what is the cost per granola bar? So I'm going to go ahead and find the cost. Well, so I'm going to put a question mark at the bottom because that's what I'm looking for, of one granola bar. Now, since my unknown is at the bottom, I'm going to flip both fractions. Okay, so remember that we just flip both fractions. And to find the question mark, there's a division by 1 that's in the way. So to cancel out a division, we multiply both sides by 1, just like we've been doing all along. So we're going to be doing $7.44 times 1. Then we're going to divide that answer by 12. So $7.44 times 1 is just $7.44. And then we divide that by 12. So if I do $7.44 divided by 12, it actually gives me 60.62 for one granola bar. So this is for Foodorama. Okay, you need to label that down. Foodorama. Because I now need to do the exact same work for Groceryland. So I'm going to write Groceryland over here and do the same work, except this time the cost for 2 boxes is $6. And each box has 5 granola bars. So this is significantly different than the Foodorama description because Foodorama told us how many granola bars we had. This one for Groceryland does not. But you have to know that in one box, there's 5 granola bars. So in 2 boxes, we're going to have 10 granola bars. So we're going to put the 10 at the top because granola bars, I'll just do it this way, just to show you real quick. Okay. Granola bars goes at the top. And the cost for 2 boxes, which is 10 granola bars, is $6. Okay. And we want to find the cost, so we put the question mark at the bottom again, for one granola bar. So in this case here, I'm going to flip both fractions again. Okay. And in order to cancel out the division by 1, I'm going to multiply both sides by 1. So this means we're going to do 6 times 1. Once we're done doing that, we'll divide by 10. 6 times 1 is 6. And 6 divided by 10 is oops, I forgot to put divided by 10 there. 0.6 is what my question is. So because this is money, I want to make sure that I have 2 decimals that are showing. So if there is no other decimal, just put a 0. So in this case here, they're not asking what the cost of one granola bar is, so be careful. It's actually asking you for the cost per granola at these 2 stores. So remember to look at the question. What is the difference in the cost per granola bars? So one of them is 60 cents. The other one is 62 cents. So the difference, you would just have to subtract them. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys know that when you do subtract, it gives you 0.02, which is equal to 2 cents. So be very, very careful as to which one that you select. So again, I'd like you to pause this video in order to move on and do the next warm-up question. And when you're ready, just pause the video and you can replay it in a few minutes. So now question number 2 has, it deals with percentages. So Cornerstone High School has 1,860 students. 45% of these students bike or walk to school. So I'm hoping that you guys did 45% of 1,860. Now remember that you can't do 45 times 1,860 because you're going to get a giant number. So we need to convert 45% into a decimal. So to do that, Hope you remember that you divided by 100, and you get 0.45. Don't forget that the word of means to multiply. Okay, so we're doing 0.45 times 1,860. So that's 837. Now you have to understand what that means. That means that 837 students bike or walk to school. Okay, out of the 1860, 837 of these guys bike or walk. Then there's an extra 372 students who drive to school. And they're talking about the remaining students. So in order to find the remaining students, you have to add up 837, the number we found, plus the number that they give you, 372. When you add up those two numbers, it still doesn't give you the answer, but it gives you a number that is two groups put together. There's still some left, and that's what they're talking about, the remaining students. So we're going to take the total, 1860, and we're going to subtract by that number that we just found. So 1860 minus 1209 gives us 651 students. And that's the remaining students that travel by bus. So the answer again here is question A. These are both what we call multi-step problems, and it's really important for you to take your time and not just do one of the steps, because sometimes the QAO will try to trick you. For example, if you only did the first step, 837, you can see how that's an option. Another option is when we added them up. So EQAO is just really trying to figure out if you are understanding what the question is asking. In this case, the remaining students is what's really important.